is National Do Something Nice Day, and ahead of this day, we wanted to give you some inspiration on what you might be able to do for your family, your friends, or better yet, how about a complete stranger? We're joined by Parker Harger. He is the founder of So Good, which is a local nonprofit, if you will, and your mission is to spread kindness throughout the community. You've been doing this for a while. People might recognize you from Instagram. You have a pretty good social following. But for those who are not familiar, give us a little background on where this inspiration came from. Where does your story begin?
Yeah, so my dad, he passed away in 2015 of a brain tumor, and after he passed, I kind of looked at the world differently. And so I noticed, that his life kind of left a hole. And so one of the things I started doing was volunteering places, Idaho Food Bank, the Veterans Home, and I started feeling better. And then in 2017, I was out in Vegas for work and staying at Mandalay Bay, and there was a mass shooting there. And I came home and I really struggled. And so I had this idea, if something bad can happen for no reason, what if something good can happen for no reason? So I kind of had this motto, do good for no good reason. And that just kind of became my mantra. And when COVID started, I had some friends that had coffee trucks, and they said, hey, things are tight, we're struggling. And I said, what if we went to a hospital? What if we went to first responder? What if we went to a school and we started doing free coffee for teachers? And so we started doing that, and we've been doing that every week ever since.
Wow, my goodness. Okay, and then what type of response have you gotten through social with this?
People love it. I mean, we don't really have an agenda. It's really just doing good for no good reason. So that kind of thing just kind of resonates with people. They understand, especially in this political climate, the idea
time.
of just going out and just saying, hey, would you like a cold, bottle of water, things like that, stopping and helping.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love your inspiration. I'm so glad that you gravitated towards this positive view on, hey, there's another side to what's happening, which is this positive aspect, and being motivated to move forward in that direction and encouraging others to go in that direction, because there is always a positive side to something, right? And that's something that we can make a decision and a choice to do and pursue. So I'm so happy and overjoyed to see you out there championing this. And when I asked about what type of response did you see through social, did you see people being inspired possibly to do their own acts, or people sharing some of their good deeds with you as well?
Absolutely. And it's so interesting. I was at a restaurant the other day, and I went to pay for a veteran's food, and the veteran came over, and he was with his granddaughter, and they gave me a gift card to that restaurant. And they said, hey, we ate here, and we found out that you paid for our food. The waitress told us, and we wanted to give you a gift card for this restaurant. So when I went to leave, I gave it to someone else, and that got passed from like table to table, because everyone, saw that someone had paid for their food, and so the card just kept getting passed around. So things like that have happened over and over to me. People noticing that we're just here to just, put a smile on someone's face and do something kind.
Yeah, well, it goes back to that saying, paying it forward, right?
Right.
Yeah, and you have a couple of things here today as inspiration, because, well, tomorrow, by the way, is National Do Something Nice Day. Before we get to these items, though, let's give some inspiration to those at home. What can they do? I mean, obviously, when you think about doing something nice, I think the first thing that comes to mind is those that are closest to you that, unfortunately, you might take for granted more than not, right? So it's a day where you can do something nice for them, but also there's the importance of doing something nice randomly for someone you don't even know, like you've pointed out, right? Yeah, so what are some things maybe that we can do tomorrow? Yeah,
so one of the things that I love to do, and it's free, is compliment people. There are so many times people will walk out and they're putting their shoes together and no one says anything. And it's so interesting. I'll just stop and look, and I'll be in an elevator or getting on an airplane, and I'll stop and I'll say, hey, those shoes really match. You look really nice today. And it's like their whole face lights up.
Yeah, their demeanor.
And we forget that so many times, that, just saying, hey, that was really, beautiful smile that you have, or I like that hat, or, I hope the Bears win this week, just like people just light up.
Yeah, just that simple act of engaging, because especially I think coming out of the pandemic, we've all gotten so accustomed to our own little bubble.
Right.
And it's really easy to be in a crowded space or be next to a stranger and just have that veil between you two. But even just that brief moment of being able to make eye contact and simply smiling at somebody can make a huge difference. A smile costs you nothing, right? Everybody can afford to smile at one another. Okay, I know you got a couple of things here. We are greatly thankful for you coming in and sharing your message. And we, because being inspired here by our friend Parker, may have some ways to pay it forward to you too a little bit later. So make sure you keep it with us here on Idaho Today and on our social pages. I do, though, want to remind everybody, though, where they can find you and they can start following you and reach out.
Yeah, it's sogood.org. That's probably the easiest. It's a nonprofit. You can, there's a calendar. You can see where we're going to be next. Links to social media, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, sogood.org.
Excellent. Parker, keep up the good work. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everyone, stick around. More to come here on Idaho Today right after the break.